Are you watching this crazy trading and what's going on in the market?
I am. It is wild today. GME is the big story, but it's not the only big mover today. Look at Virgin Galactic.
What's that doing?
It's going to the moon.
You in it?
That's space, SPCE, right? It's like 23% up today. There's a whole bunch of poppers today.
Yeah, and so do you find that using your software, TreandSpider?
I find a lot of my stocks using the scanner in TreandSpider. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a reversal trader.
How long have you had TreandSpider for?
We're about 3 years old. So March of 2018 is when we launched it.
And what were you doing before?
So I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I helped start a cloud computing company back then. We sold that in 2008 as well. So, it was like a smooth switch for me, right? I went into this. But I've traded since 2008. So, it's always been a passion of mine. And TreandSpider is a chance to combine that with a business, right? But also make trading better, in my opinion.
Is the type of customer more so like institutional, average investor, day trader? What kind of customer is it?
So we bring hedge fund level technology to retail traders. Almost all our users are active retail traders, mostly swing, a lot of day traders though.
Love that. I mean, that's the name of the game. I mean, what's going on right now is, trying to create a level playing field in different aspects. And I know TreandSpider is one of the most talked about scanner tools out there. People love and get a lot of value from it. So you were trading before you started TreandSpider. Were you ever at one of the big shops trading?
No, always my own account.
Always your own account. Wow. So did you go to college?
I did. I didn't last very long. So I think I lasted 1 year.
Were you trading back then?
No. So I started trading in 2008, which was a crazy time to get into the markets. I sold a business and then, needed to figure out what to do with the money. So decided to learn how to trade. And I dove into futures first, which was a big mistake. Got creamed, had to stop and, slowly kind of develop a strategy, right?
Yep. So futures I never got into. It just seemed too complicated.
Don't.
But maybe I'm wrong. Is it complicated?
I know I'm no good at it. I don't touch it. So I mostly trade U.S. equities now.
Okay. And are you like a computer programmer too?
No, I have a small background in development many years ago, but I don't consider myself a developer. I'm bad at that.
Okay, got it. But you're able to build a great software platform.
Yeah, it's about the people, right? So we have a really good team. Our CTO has spent 20 years building charting software. We're very fortunate to have him. And then we've built a team where everybody trades. It's almost like a job requirement here is you have to have an account. You have to, be active in it because we want to build software that I want to use, right? And I know that I don't have I don't have all the right answers. So, it's all about the people that are involved in it. But we have options traders, we have crypto traders on the team too. And, it's different disciplines with different, techniques and styles. Some are more technical. Some, you need some fundamentals in there. And, by blending a team together, you can develop better software for other traders, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you got people if you're building for you, by you, but people that are traders are going to know what people want. It's like, I know TreandSpider is great, but like a lot of companies that are created by like web designers versus like a trader, they have way too much space in between rows and stuff. And it's too hard to scroll down to see anything you want. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I know as a fact, I don't want to name any names, but, our largest competitor, none of their owners trade. I know this because I've asked them, and it's always interesting to me when it's like, no, I just buy and hold, and it's like you're building trading software.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the largest one, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so then I got another text about GME. These guys don't stop on the text on GME. But anyway, let's go. I do have a couple questions from the community about some of your stuff. Can we talk about RainDrop charts? And can you show some if you can or something? Do you know what I'm talking about? The guy loves it. He loves it in the TreandSpider software. So I'm gonna give you. Can you see the button to toggle screen sharing?
Can I see that?
It looks like a little red thing.
Yep.
You should be able to do it. You should be able to.
All right, we can look at raindrops on GME.
All right.
I bought a put on GME this morning, just a single put,
What
just to
price?
see what happens. My strike is $39 April, so we'll see if I get there. I got a great fill,
What it cost?
$9. Right, I filled at 9. I was the very bottom of it. It was very lucky, and there was only one available, so I grabbed it. So we'll see where that goes. In this market, I'm hoping it goes to 10 billion.
Oh, right.
Um,
Okay.
so this is a raindrop chart, and raindrops are very cool. They're very unique. It's something that we developed. We were looking for ways to visualize volume and price action together in a more useful way. And what's cool about a raindrop is it takes the period of time. This is a 65-minute chart. I'll switch to the daily, also on GME, but it splits the period in half, right? So the left side is the first half of the period, right? So on a daily candle on a fully closed day trading, that's 6.5 hours total, and each side represents 3.25 hours, right? Or if you're on a 1 hour chart, each side represents 30 minutes. So these are 1 hour raindrops on GME here. Oh crap! What just happened?
I got your calendar now, I think.
Yep, sorry, that was my bad. I accidentally moved it out of screen. Y'all can see my day. So this takes the period, divides it in half, and then on the left side it'll plot the volume profile, rotated 90 degrees. So you have a volume by price for each half of the period. And unlike a candle, raindrops don't have an open or a close price, right? Part of the theory behind raindrops is the open and close are kind of arbitrary anyway. They don't represent anything about the price, just where the price was when the candle happened to open or happened to close, right? So raindrops remove that concept. They have a high and a low, just like a candle, and they have a left and a right VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. And that gives you some pretty interesting stuff. GME is probably a horrible example to use, but let me pick something like SPY, right? Something that's a little bit more sane and normal. But you can see, I'll get rid of my drawings too, clean it up a bit so you guys can all get a nice clean picture. But you can see how these kind of start to work out, right? We call them raindrops because they look like falling water. The shape of each raindrop is the relative position of the volume by price for part of the period, right? Half of the period on each side. And you start to see certain types of patterns form. The white ones, which should be green, I just make them white in my account, are green, right? Because the right VWAP is above the left VWAP. And the red ones are red because the right VWAP is below the left VWAP, right? And what's really interesting is when you start to see the blue ones, right? And they're blue because the two VWAPs end up being the same price, So when that happens, it's almost like a super doji. That's how I like to think about them. Because when you see them on something that's very liquid, like SPY, for example, you'll see one here and you have a giant rally, right? And you'll see them form both at bottoms and tops and continuations. And, while they're not like directional on their own, because a raindrop doesn't say anything about which way price is going to go. When you see a blue raindrop form after a big downtrend, right? Or when you see one form after, a big uptrend or, anything like that, they can tell you something about, price being indecisive. The other thing raindrops can do is they can help you identify what a real breakout is, right? By looking at where the volume is. I'll just pick something random here. But you can see, let's see, right here's a good example. You can see how price broke out from a previous high here, right? It popped up on December 11, pulled back a bit, and it broke out. But you can also see that the volume is all above the breakout level, right? If you look at a candle and you see a breakout candle, and then you look at the raindrop version of that same candle, and there's no trading volume above the breakout point, the VWAPs are all below it. It's a good way to identify a fake breakout, right? A fake out. And then, you can also see how that worked out a little bit later here, right? You had a pullback and it turned blue right at that level, right? And then it continued on up, So raindrops are really interesting. They, they're new, and while we invented them, we don't really pretend to be total experts in how to use them. We're still learning like everybody else, because it is a new type of visualization, right? That, as a trader, you kind of have to internalize and figure out how you're going to use it, right? Sorry for the long-winded answer.
No, but it's unique. I get what you're saying. It's like, one of the guys was saying, it's like, it depends on how the person is actually going to use it. By the way, if you want to get the chart up or not, you can turn off your the toggle so then the thing goes off.
Got it.
Like right now, just turn off the screen sharing or the.
I did turn it off. Let's see.
Turn off.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, sorry about that.
So the raindrops, did it come up from the community?
No, it came out of a shower our CTO took. Right, I remember him calling me and being like, "I had the greatest idea in the shower, and I need 2 weeks to build a prototype, and I'm taking that time from other things we're building." And I was actually reluctant. I was like, "Oh, really? Okay, like if you want to." But then
Hmm.
he built a prototype, and I remember being at the CMT event in New York. This was maybe 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. And I remember showing this to JC Peretz and Brian Shannon and a few of the other guys who were there, and everyone was like, "Wow, can I use this? How can I, experiment with this?" And there, like a crowd formed around the table in the lunch hall where I just had a screenshot of what RainDrops would look like on my phone. And at that point I was like, okay, people seem to really like this idea, right? And we should accelerate developing it and actually produce it. So we invested more time in actually building the charts around it, and then also building scanners that can scan for it, back testing capabilities around it, and then released it out there. It's become one of our most popular chart types, right? It goes like, candlesticks, raindrops, and then Heikinashi and, bars and everything below that.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And one of the things, you said that you guys are all traders there. Are you always using your software to find trades, or is it sometimes you're finding story stocks like today, how you bought a put on GameStop, I think you said, right?
GameStop.
Is it like,
Yep.
yeah. Will you always use your software to find it, or will you just sometimes like just make a trade, or you know what I mean, without like checking it through your
Yeah.
software?
No, not always. I find a lot of trade ideas just on Twitter, just talking to other traders. One idea entered this morning, HYLN, was just a friend, Jake, who also works here, just told me to look at the chart. And I was just like, wow, this is a beautiful chart. We do a lot of team trades here, right? Where we have in our private Slack, we have a trade room, right? And trade ideas back and
Yep.
forth. I get a lot of ideas there, right? It's not something that's available to anyone outside of TreandSpider because it's like our company chat where we talk about the software. But I'll take ideas where I can get them. I do scan a lot, right? Though, like every night when my kids go to bed, I spend an hour scanning. It's something that I don't always find something I'm going to trade, but there's always something interesting going on in this market. It can be pretty wild.
Okay. And have you guys ever thought, with all the users you have and I don't know, have you ever thought of actually becoming a broker, like an
No,
online, like an
so
Ameritrade or something?
So I don't want to become a broker. There's enough great brokers out there, right? But we will support integration with every broker eventually, and our goal is to be broker agnostic. In fact, like I use two brokers myself. I know a lot of traders who have multiple brokerage accounts, right? And sometimes you want to do a trade in your IRA, or sometimes you want to do it in a buy and hold account. Because I have a buy and hold account where I try to buy stuff and not touch it as much. And being able to just do that all from one platform, have every broker connected, all your charts are in one place, your scanners, and it all kind of works together. I think there's a lot of value in that. And honestly, why would anyone want to be a broker right now? It's so competitive. Everybody is competing, with the same pricing, which is zero, and it's tough to be different.
Right. And so it's tough to so it wasn't something, okay. I just didn't know if it was like something that, I don't know. I don't know how this all works. So
It's
how
come
you
up.
think of it. Well, it's come. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
it's come
I
up, but
mean,
it's probably not something we'll do.
yeah.
I'd rather you be able to connect your E-Trade or your IB into TreandSpider and then place trades from inside TreandSpider through your broker. And the reason I want to do it that way is we'll then be able to connect all the pieces together. So we have scanning, backtesting, automated analysis, and very smart alerts that can watch a chart like you would. It's not a huge leap to go from there to allowing retail traders to automate their strategies, right? So you can then sit down on a Sunday and say, hey, look, this is GameStop. If GameStop breaks below 300, it's probably a good short, right? So, when that happens, I want to buy this options contract, or I want to sell the shares short, or whatever. Because then you can be at 7-Eleven at, 2:58 p.m. on, Friday night, and it happens, and you can just say yes on your phone, right? And TreandSpider will execute that order through your broker for you, and then monitor your exit conditions that are pre-planned for you, right? And that's kind of our ultimate goal here. Is that's how a lot of hedge funds trade. A lot of prop shops and bank trade desks pre-plan their trades and automate the execution, right? The traders are just there to say yes or no as opportunities come up, and they're served up to them by a computer program. Well, what if you empowered a retail trader, the regular guy, with that same capability? I think you'll increase order flow, right? People will trade because when they're not at their desk, and they'll be better at trading because they'll have patience and let the market come to them more, right? So that's kind of the
Yep.
vision and why I want to do it that way.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, Dan. Anything that we missed talk about other than that you were not Jason Raznick, which we got that we made that clear, and I'm not Hot Stocks Luke. But anything else that I want to mention before we head off?
About TreandSpider? No.
No,
I'd
in
love
general. Anything you
in
want to
general
mention in the world? Anything about anything? It
and
could
well.
be whatever you want, Dan. It's your floor, my man.
Sure. Well, I'll throw a couple trade ideas out at people, right?
We love trade ideas.
I love trade ideas too, right? HYLN has a fascinating chart right now, right? If you look at it in TrendSpider or any tool that can highlight volume, you can see a huge level of accumulation at the current prices. Right, that's a position that I entered today, along with Jake, who's also here. I'm a big fan of it. I think it can go pretty high. And Frog, right? I'm a big fan of these new IPOs lately. They are basing and it's beautiful. And Frog has not taken off yet, so I think that's a nice early reversal too. If anyone's interested in two cool ideas, check out those charts.
Okay, I like it. HYLN. All right, I'm gonna put that on my watch list, and maybe I'll buy some shares of it. All right,
Join us for the ride.
Yeah, I've had it on there before. So this is Dan Ushman, founder and CEO, I believe, of TrendSpider. Good name, very popular platform, very popular amongst traders and ever to alert you to different stock moves. And we thank you for coming on from Chicago today. Stay warm, stay inside. It's freezing out there, and because I'm in Michigan, it's cold here. So I was going to drive to the office today, but too cold for my bristly bones, I guess, whatever that means. So, all right, man. Thank you for coming on. We will catch up later.
Thank you. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Please come on again. Thank you. Yep. Bye-bye.